Once upon a time, in the golden grasslands of Serenova, there lived a young gazelle named Lila. She was unlike any other gazelle in her herd. While her friends spent their days perfecting their leaps and racing across the plains, Lila would gaze at the sky, mesmerized by the eagles soaring effortlessly above. "If only I could fly," Lila often sighed, her heart swelling with wonder. The other gazelles would laugh and say, "Oh, Lila, gazelles are made to run, not to fly. You're chasing an impossible dream." But Lila was undeterred. She spent hours observing the birds, trying to understand their movements. She mimicked the way they spread their wings and practiced flapping her slender legs, much to the amusement of her herd. "One day," she whispered to herself, "I will touch the clouds." One crisp morning, Lila's opportunity arrived. She met an eccentric inventor named Marlowe the magpie. Marlowe was known throughout the grasslands for his peculiar gadgets and whimsical ideas. When Lila shared her dream, Marlowe's eyes sparkled with excitement. "A gazelle who wants to fly? Now that's a challenge I can't resist," he exclaimed. Together they got to work. Marlowe scavenged materials from the forest twigs, feathers, vines, and bits of shiny metal while Lila tested contraptions with boundless enthusiasm. Their first attempt, a pair of makeshift wings, ended with Lila tumbling into a bush. The second, a glider-like frame, sent her skidding across the ground. But with each failure, Lila's determination grew stronger. Weeks turned into months, and finally, Marlowe unveiled his masterpiece, a flying harness powered by the wind. It was a delicate contraption, with broad, feathered wings and a sturdy harness that fit snugly around Lila's frame. "This is it," Marlowe declared. "Are you ready?" With her heart pounding, Lila nodded. They climbed to the top of Windspire Hill, the highest point in Serenova. The wind howled around them as Marlowe made the final adjustments. "Remember," he said, "believe in yourself, and the sky will be yours." Lila took a deep breath and leaped. For a moment, she felt nothing but the rush of wind against her face. Then, the wings caught the air, and she began to glide. Higher and higher she soared, her hooves leaving the earth far below. The plains stretched out like a golden sea, and the clouds embraced her like old friends. The animals below watched in awe as Lila, the gazelle who dared to dream, danced among the eagles. "She did it!" they cheered. Lila's heart swelled with joy. She had proven that even the wildest dreams could take flight with courage, determination, and a little help from a clever magpie. From that day on, Lila became a legend in Serenova. Her story inspired others to chase their own dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed. And though her hooves still touched the ground, Lila's heart remained forever in the skies.
In the lush and vibrant expanse of the savannah, there lived a spirited young gazelle named Gigi. Unlike the others in her herd who were content with their daily routines of grazing and leaping, Gigi was brimming with boundless energy and an insatiable thirst for adventure. "Why stay here when there's a whole world to explore?" Gigi often wondered aloud. The elder gazelles would chuckle and shake their heads, saying, "The world is too big and dangerous for a little gazelle like you." But Gigi's imagination couldn't be tamed. One golden morning, as the sun stretched its rays across the plains, Gigi decided it was time to turn her dreams into reality. She whispered her plan to her best friend, a cautious but loyal meerkat named Milo. "Let's go on an adventure, Milo. Let's see what lies beyond the horizon." Milo hesitated, wringing his tiny paws. "Gigi, the horizon is far, and danger lurks everywhere. What if we get lost? What if we meet predators?" Gigi flashed a confident grin. "That's the point of an adventure, Milo. Together, we can face anything." Reluctantly, Milo agreed, and the two set off just as the morning dew glistened on the grass. Their journey began with wonder. Gigi and Milo discovered a sparkling stream where fish darted like silver arrows, and a grove of baobab trees where colorful birds sang songs they had never heard before. Gigi marveled at everything, her joy infectious enough to make Milo forget his worries for a while. As the day wore on, they wandered farther from familiar territory. The grasses grew taller, and the sounds of the savannah became unfamiliar. Suddenly, a low growl stopped them in their tracks. Emerging from the shadows was a sleek cheetah, its amber eyes fixed on them. Milo trembled, but Gigi stood firm. "Stay behind me," she whispered, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Thinking quickly, Gigi remembered something her mother had taught her. Predators respect confidence. Show them you're not afraid. Gigi stomped her hooves and snorted, raising her head high. "You don't want to waste your energy chasing us," she said boldly. "There's a herd of wildebeest just over that hill. There'll be a much better meal." The cheetah paused, considering her words. Then, with a flick of its tail, it turned and disappeared into the grass. Milo stared at Gigi in amazement. "How did you do that?" Gigi let out a shaky laugh. "I just hoped it wouldn't call my bluff." As evening fell, Gigi and Milo found a small hill to rest on. From the top, they could see the vastness of the savannah stretching endlessly before them. The horizon was painted in shades of pink and orange, and stars began to twinkle above. "This is incredible," Milo admitted, his earlier fears forgotten. "I never would have seen this if it weren't for you, Gigi." Gigi smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "The world is full of beauty and challenges, Milo. Today, we proved we're braver than we thought."
Once upon a time, in a large green park, lived a small, fluffy squirrel named Pip. Pip was known for his bright eyes and bushy tail. He spent his days collecting nuts and seeds, burying them in various spots for the winter. One sunny morning, while searching for acorns, Pip stumbled upon a shiny red apple. It was bigger than anything he had ever seen before. He tried to push it, but it was too heavy. Pip decided to call for help. Soon, other squirrels arrived, chattering excitedly. Together, they managed to roll the apple towards Pip's favorite tree. They enjoyed the sweet fruit, sharing it among all. As the days grew shorter, Pip and his friends worked together to gather more food. They learned that sharing made their tasks easier, and that friendship was more valuable than any treasure. Pip, with his bright eyes, was always ready to help. He became a symbol of kindness and cooperation in the park. The other animals admired his gentle nature. When winter arrived, Pip had more than enough food to last through the cold months. He spent his days warm in his nest, dreaming of the spring. He knew his friends were safe and happy too. When spring came, the park was filled with new life. Pip was excited to explore, play, and help his friends. He continued to live happily in the park, forever the cute squirrel who brought joy and harmony to everyone around him. He knew that as long as they worked together, they would always have enough. Sammy the snail lived in a small garden, a world of towering grass blades and vast flower petals. His days were slow, measured by the progress of his glistening trail. One day, Sammy decided to embark on a grand journey, to reach the old oak tree at the far end of the garden. His friends chuckled. It was a daunting distance for a snail. Undeterred, Sammy set off, his tiny muscles straining with each deliberate movement. The journey was filled with challenges. He had to navigate around prickly thorns, cross a rushing stream, a mere trickle to humans, but a raging river to Sammy, and endure the scorching midday sun. He met other creatures along the way, a wise old beetle who offered encouragement, a grumpy ladybug who grumbled about his slow pace, and a family of busy ants who barely noticed him. There were moments of despair when Sammy felt like giving up. The distance seemed endless, the sun relentless. But he remembered his goal, the majestic oak tree, and pressed on. He used his slime trail to climb steep blades of grass, and he took shelter under large leaves during the hottest parts of the day. The journey tested his resilience, his determination, and his patience. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Sammy reached the oak tree. He was exhausted, but triumphant. He had accomplished what many said was impossible for a snail. He rested beneath the shade of the ancient tree, its strong branches a comforting presence. From his vantage point, he could see the whole garden, a miniature world he had conquered with his slow, steady pace. The journey back was much easier, filled with a newfound confidence. Sammy wasn't just a snail who had reached an oak tree. He was Sammy, the snail who had proven that slow and steady wins the race. He returned to his friends, a hero in his own eyes, his tale a testament to the power of perseverance. In a forest filled with towering trees, there lived a fox named Finley. Unlike the other foxes, Finley had a heart full of kindness. One day, Finley found a small bird with a broken wing. He gently picked up the bird and took it to his den. He cared for the bird, bringing it berries and water. Days turned into weeks, and the bird's wing slowly healed. Finley and the bird became the best of friends. One sunny morning, the bird was strong enough to fly. It circled Finley's head, chirping happily, before soaring into the sky. Finley watched it go, a warm feeling in his heart. He was happy to have helped. Soon after, a storm raged through the forest. The animals were scared and needed shelter. Remembering Finley's kindness, they all sought refuge in his den. Finley opened his home to all, sharing his food and warmth. The animals were amazed by his generosity. The storm passed, and the animals thanked Finley for his help. From that day on, the forest creatures knew Finley as the kind fox, and his den was always a safe place. He continued to help anyone in need, proving that kindness always returns. Once upon a time, in the heart of a sprawling savanna, there lived a gentle gazelle named Nia. Nia was known far and wide, not just for her grace and speed, but for her kindness. She had a knack for making friends with animals of all shapes and sizes, from the tiniest ants to the mighty elephants. Her herd often teased her, saying, "Nia, you're too soft. The savannah is a harsh place. Kindness won't protect you." But Nia believed otherwise. She felt that kindness had a power all its own. One sunny morning, as the herd grazed by a sparkling stream, Nia heard a faint rustling nearby. Following the sound, she found a young meerkat trapped under a fallen branch. "Oh no, are you all right?" Nia asked gently. The meerkat, whose name was Timo, looked up with teary eyes. "I'm stuck. Please help me." Without hesitation, Nia used her nimble hooves to push the branch away. "There you go," she said with a warm smile. Timo hopped up and brushed himself off. "Thank you. I owe you one," he said, scampering back to his burrow. Word of Nia's kindness spread quickly. Soon, animals began approaching her for help. One day, a zebra named Zuri came to her in distress. "Nia, my foal has wandered into the tall grass and I can't find him. Can you help?" Nia didn't think twice. "Of course, Zuri. Let's search together." With her sharp eyes and swift legs, Nia found the foal tangled in vines and guided him safely back to Zuri. "Thank you, Nia. I'll never forget this," Zuri said, her voice filled with gratitude. As time went on, Nia's circle of friends grew. There was Kofi the curious tortoise, who loved to share stories. Amani the shy giraffe, who trusted Nia to keep her secrets, and even Jabari the mischievous monkey, who often played harmless pranks but respected Nia deeply. One day, a crisis struck the savannah. A fierce wildfire broke out, spreading rapidly through the dry grasslands. Animals panicked, fleeing in every direction. Nia, however, remained calm. She called out to her friends, "We need to work together to help everyone reach safety." Timo and his meerkat clan dug escape tunnels for the smaller animals. Zuri and the zebras used their strength to carry the injured. Amani led a group of animals to a hidden grove she knew of, far from the fire's reach. Even Jabari swung through the trees, warning others of the danger. Nia tirelessly coordinated their efforts, ensuring no one was left behind. When the fire finally subsided, the animals gathered in the grove, exhausted but safe. They looked to Nia with admiration. "Nia," Zuri said, "your kindness saved us all. You brought us together when we needed it most." Nia smiled, her heart full. "We each played a part. Kindness isn't just about helping others, it's about bringing out the best in everyone." From that day on, the animals of the savannah lived in harmony, united by the bond they shared. And though Nia never sought recognition, she became a legend, known as the kind gazelle who showed everyone that once upon a time, in a lush green forest, lived a tiny bird named Pip. Pip was known for his bright blue feathers and cheerful songs. Every morning, Pip would wake up with the sun and start chirping melodies that filled the entire forest. One sunny day, while exploring, Pip stumbled upon a sparkling stream. He had never seen anything so beautiful. He decided to take a bath, splashing water all over. Suddenly, he noticed a little butterfly struggling in the water. Without hesitation, Pip flew down and gently pulled the butterfly out. The butterfly, whose name was Luna, was very grateful. Luna and Pip became the best of friends. They spent their days together exploring the forest and singing songs. One day, a big storm came and the wind was howling. Pip and Luna took shelter in a big tree. The storm was so strong that it uprooted the tree. Pip and Luna were scared, but they held each other. They found a new home in a cozy hollow of another tree. They continued their life, singing and dancing. They were a symbol of friendship and courage. They learned that even the smallest of creatures can make a big difference. The forest was always filled with their joy. They were loved by everyone in the forest. Pip and Luna continued to have lots of adventures. They helped many other animals. Pip and Luna showed that friendship is the most precious treasure. They continued to sing, bringing joy to the forest every day. Their story was a reminder that even the smallest of creatures could make a big difference. In the heart of the African savanna lived a young gazelle named Glimmer. She was known for her gentle nature and graceful movements. Unlike the other gazelles, Glimmer preferred exploring the quiet corners of the savanna. One day, while wandering, she stumbled upon a hidden oasis. The water was crystal clear and surrounded by lush green plants. Glimmer was amazed by the beauty of the secret place. Soon, she noticed a small group of birds with injured wings. They were unable to fly and looked weak and hungry. Glimmer, with her kind heart, decided to help them. She spent her days bringing them fresh leaves and water. She would also sing soft melodies to soothe their pain. The birds grew stronger, and their wings started to heal. One sunny morning, the birds were finally able to fly again. They soared into the sky, chirping happily. Glimmer watched them with a heart full of joy. She felt grateful for the opportunity to help. Word of Glimmer's kindness spread throughout the savanna. Other animals began to seek her help and advice. Glimmer continued to be a gentle and compassionate soul, always ready to help those in need. She learned that true strength lies not in power, but in kindness and generosity. Her story became a legend, reminding everyone of the power of a gentle heart. The savanna was a better place because of Glimmer. Deep in the heart of the savanna, under the vast open skies and amidst the golden grasses, there was a legend whispered among the animals. The tale of the golden gazelle. It was said that this mythical creature, with a coat that shimmered like sunlight and eyes that glowed like amber, held the secret to eternal harmony in the wild. Many doubted its existence, dismissing it as a story to entertain young ones, but there were those who believed and dreamed of uncovering the truth. Among the believers was a curious young gazelle named Aaron. He was different from the others in his herd, always asking questions and exploring far beyond their usual grazing grounds. Aaron had heard the story of the golden gazelle from his grandmother, who claimed to have seen it once as a fawn. 6. Its beauty was unmatched, she had said, and its presence brought a peace so profound that even the lions and cheetahs bowed their heads in respect. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Aaron stumbled upon an old tortoise named Copa. Copa was known as the keeper of stories and wisdom. "Tell me about the golden gazelle," Aaron pleaded. The tortoise chuckled, his voice raspy yet warm. "Ah, the golden gazelle. Many seek it, but few understand its true nature. It's not just a creature, young one, it's a lesson, a guide. To find it, you must be brave, clever, and pure of heart." Aaron's heart raced. "Where do I begin?" Copa pointed with a wrinkled claw toward the distant mountains. "Follow the rising sun until you reach the whispering trees. There, you will find the first clue." Determined, Aaron set off at dawn, his hooves kicking up dust as he bounded toward the unknown. The journey was perilous. He had to outwit a pack of hyenas, cross a roaring river, and navigate through a dense forest where shadows played tricks on his mind. But Aaron's resolve never wavered. At last, he reached the whispering trees, an ancient grove where the wind seemed to carry voices. As he rested beneath a towering baobab, a soft, melodic voice spoke. "Why do you seek the golden gazelle?" Startled but unafraid, Aaron replied, "To understand its secret and bring peace to the savannah." "Then you must prove your worth," the voice said. Suddenly, 3 challenges appeared before him: a wide chasm he had to leap, a riddle carved into a stone, and a path blocked by thick vines. Aaron faced each challenge with courage and cleverness. He leaped the chasm with grace, solved the riddle. What runs but never walks? A river, and used his sharp hooves to clear the vines. With each success, the grove seemed to glow brighter. Finally, as the last vine fell away, a dazzling light emerged. There, standing amidst the golden glow, was the golden gazelle. Its coat shimmered as though woven from sunlight, and its eyes held the wisdom of ages. Aaron bowed his head in awe. "What is your secret?" he whispered. Once upon a time, in a bamboo forest, lived a little panda named Pip. Pip was very round and fluffy, with big, curious eyes. He loved to eat bamboo, and he spent most of his days munching on the green shoots. One sunny morning, Pip found a bright red ball. He had never seen anything like it before. Pip pushed the ball with his nose, and it rolled away. He chased it, giggling as it bounced through the forest. The ball rolled near a small stream. Pip tried to reach it, but he slipped and fell into the water. The stream was cold, and Pip was very surprised. He struggled to get out but couldn't reach the bank. Suddenly, a big panda named Mama showed up. Mama gently pulled Pip out of the stream. She wrapped him in her warm fur. Pip was safe and happy to be with his mama. Mama showed Pip how to play with the ball without falling into the water. They spent the rest of the day playing together. Pip learned that even when things are scary, there is always someone to help. As the sun set, Pip snuggled close to Mama. He dreamed of red balls and gentle streams, and he was very thankful for his family. He knew that he would always be safe and loved in the bamboo forest. Pip looked forward to more adventures with Mama. The next day, Pip woke up with a smile. He went to find his red ball again. He and Mama played until they were tired. Pip learned to be careful near the stream. He always remembered the day he fell in and how Mama rescued him. He was a happy panda, living in a loving home. Every day was a new adventure for Pip and his mama. Whiskers was a small, fluffy cat with bright green eyes. He lived in a cozy little house with a kind old woman named Mrs. Gable. Every morning, Whiskers would wake up and stretch, then jump off the bed to greet Mrs. Gable. He would rub against her legs, purring loudly, as she prepared his breakfast. After eating, Whiskers loved to play. He would chase after a bright red ball, batting it around the room with his paws. Sometimes he would climb the curtains, enjoying the view from up high. Mrs. Gable would watch him, smiling at his playful antics. One afternoon, Whiskers decided to explore the garden. He sniffed at the flowers and chased after butterflies, his tail swishing happily. Suddenly, he saw a small bird perched on a branch. He crouched low, ready to pounce, but the bird flew away. Whiskers felt a little disappointed but soon found a new adventure. He discovered a patch of catnip and started rolling around, feeling very happy. As the sun began to set, Whiskers returned to the house, tired but content. Mrs. Gable picked him up and cuddled him close. He purred, feeling safe and loved. They sat together by the window, watching the stars appear. Whiskers knew he was a very lucky cat. He had a warm home, plenty of food, and a loving owner. He drifted off to sleep, dreaming of chasing butterflies and playing with his red ball. Each day was a new adventure for Whiskers, full of joy and simple pleasures. He was not just a pet, he was a member of Mrs. Gable's family, loved and cherished. Their life together was a quiet symphony of affection and companionship. He was, indeed, a very cute cat. In the heart of the savannah, where golden grasses stretched endlessly to meet the horizon, lived a young gazelle named Zara. Though she was small and unassuming compared to the others in her herd, Zara possessed a heart full of courage and a mind quick as lightning. Zara's family often warned her to stay close to the herd. "The world is dangerous, little one," her mother said. "Lions prowl the shadows, and the unknown is no place for a young gazelle." But Zara had always been curious about the world beyond their grazing fields. While others leaped away at the rustle of leaves, Zara would peer closer, her sharp eyes scanning for the source. One fateful day, as the sun dipped low in the sky, casting the savannah in hues of amber and crimson, the herd was grazing peacefully. Suddenly, a cry of distress broke through the evening calm. Zara's best friend, a timid young gazelle named Kimmy, had wandered too close to a thicket where a lioness lay hidden. In a flash, the lioness sprang, her golden eyes locked on Kimmy. The herd panicked, scattering in all directions. Kimmy froze in terror, unable to move. Zara, however, felt a fire ignite within her. "I have to do something," she thought. Her heart pounded as she darted toward the lioness, zigzagging through the tall grass to confuse the predator. "Hey, over here!" Zara shouted, her voice high but steady. She stamped her hooves and leaped into the air, drawing the lioness's attention away from Kimmy. The lioness snarled and began to chase Zara instead. Zara's small frame was built for speed, and she dashed across the plains, her hooves barely touching the ground. She led the lioness further and further away from the herd, until finally, she reached the edge of the plains where a dense grove of acacia trees began. Zara had a plan. She darted into the trees, weaving through the trunks with practiced ease. The lioness, larger and less agile, struggled to keep up. Zara spotted a narrow gap between two large rocks and squeezed through. The lioness, unable to fit, roared in frustration before slinking back toward the open savannah. When Zara was certain the danger had passed, she cautiously made her way back to the herd. Kimmy was there, trembling but unharmed. The other gazelles surrounded Zara, their eyes wide with admiration. "You saved her," one of the elders said. "You were so brave." From that day forward, Zara was no longer seen as just a small, curious gazelle. She became a symbol of courage for her herd, proving that even the smallest among them could make a difference. The younger gazelles looked up to her, often asking for stories of her daring rescue. Zara would always smile and say, "Courage isn't about being unafraid. It's about doing what's right, even when you are scared." Zara continued to explore the savannah, her bravery and quick thinking keeping her and her herd safe. Her legend grew, spreading across the plains, and she became known as Zara the Brave.